We're halfway now to a road funding plan landing on Governor Rick Snyder's desk.
Yesterday, Michigan House passed a package of bills that would eventually provide more than $1 billion for road funding. Now, this plan relies mostly on existing revenue, no new taxes, taking some money from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, slashing the earned income tax credit. It'll also take a lot of money from the general fund, as much as $700 million by the time the plan is fully funded in 2019.
Now, this now moves to the Senate, where its future is uncertain at this point. Governor Snyder has indicated that he is really skeptical about a plan that doesn't include extra revenue.
All right, let's talk about this. Joining us now, Brad Williams, the Vice President of Government Relations at the Detroit Regional Chamber, and James Homan, Assistant Director for Fiscal Policy at the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. First of all, Brad, what do you think about, what does the Chamber think about this idea of no new taxes and taking existing monies?
Well, I think there's some good news that came out of yesterday, and that is that in order to solve a problem, everyone has to acknowledge that the problem exists. And what the House did yesterday certainly acknowledges that we have a problem that needs to be fixed. Now, we don't agree with the solution they put forward. We think Michigan can do better.
Now, what about the decision do you not agree with?
Well, I think, there's a couple different things there. First of all, I think going after the MEDC money really is counterproductive. We don't believe that you can solve this road funding crisis by creating a new problem. If you kind of put it in poker terms, good roads are your ante, but your MEDC and your incentives to attract business, that's the bets that you need to make to kind of stay in the hand throughout. So I think that's a big problem. Shifting the general fund money, certainly, kind of protects for 1 year, but we really don't know what the legislature is going to do in the future. You can't make promises for legislatures that haven't been elected yet. So it doesn't create a long-term solution. We've been disinvesting in our roads for 31 years. We need a long-term, permanent, dedicated solution to solve this problem.
James, your thought. You're with the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. You've looked at what the House did yesterday. What is the the Center's thought on this?
Yeah, the House is doing a great job of trying to reflect voters' wishes when they overwhelmingly rejected Proposal 1. They're trying to find ways to manage the growth of the state economy. In fact, we are a growing economy, one of the fastest growing ones in the state or in the country. And Michigan is receiving higher tax revenue because of that. They're earmarking a portion of that growth to fix the roads. It's a perfectly reasonable way to fill in potholes.
Now, James, you said the legislature is trying to reflect voters' wishes. Sometimes isn't leadership about not reflecting their wishes so much as telling them what's good for them?
Well, when you look at the provisions of the proposal, Proposal 1, it was raise taxes, increase the earned income tax credit, and not look within the state budget. This does the exact opposite. It looks within the state budget. We found $400 million of extra road money in the budget this year that's not coming out of taxpayer pockets. And they're going to be managing the growth in the future. So we can this plan shows that we can, in fact, fix the roads without substantial increases in revenue, even though this does include about 1/10 of the proposal is in tax increases in vehicle registration fees and alternative fuel taxes.
Brad, I want to ask you, there's still much work to be done in the Senate when it goes there. What do you think the biggest sticking points will be?
Well, I think, certainly, you talked about, or James talked about what the voters said in Proposal 1, and I think he's getting the wrong message. I talked to a lot of voters leading up to Proposal 1. In fact, I spent some time with you earlier this spring. Voters understand that you can't solve this problem for nothing, that there's no free solutions, and that this is going to require new revenue. And it has to come in the form of user fees. The people who are using the roads should be the ones who are paying to fix the roads. And that's what our members, our business members at the Detroit Regional Chamber are telling us. That's what voters are saying. If you look at some polling from business leaders from Michigan that came out at the Mackinac conference that we hosted a few weeks back, it shows that voters clearly understand that this is going to cost them something in taxes.
Let me bring James in on that point right there. James,
yeah.
Do you agree with that? Do you think we can get this done without taxes, or do you think we're going to see some new taxes?
Look, Proposal 1 went down 80-20. It was a $2 billion tax hike. Voters have spoken that they should look within the state budget first. This proposal does this, and in fact, looking within the budget is popular. We've also commissioned a poll that said using $350 million of economic development programs would be more preferred to be spent on the roads than giving businesses selective subsidies. This is a popular proposal. It's reflecting voter wishes, and I think the Senate needs to give it serious consideration.
All right, we certainly will be following it. Brad Williams, we thank you very much for being with us. James Homan, to you as well.
Thank you.